After you've had a baby, usually everything's pretty weak down there, so it pays to do a few pelvic floor exercises. They encourage you to squeeze and hold for like up to 10 seconds and then slowly release it. So you can do them like 3 times a day, 3 sets of 10, 3 times a day, which is good to help that strengthen things up a bit. And when you lift, it's always good to brace yourself, spread the load across your pelvic area, so just draw up your pelvic floor, which is a bit like if you imagine just going up an elevator and pulling everything up from down below and squeezing it up and holding it. You don't have to go too heavy, like too strong, you just match the strength for the squeeze to the task you're performing. So if you go to do a deadlift, you would brace yourself first and squeeze and then go and do your lift, so everything's held tight. I personally didn't have any bladder issues myself, but I've had a complete hysterectomy, so I have to be careful because I've had surgery. So I usually just always keep everything fairly firm before I do any sort of jumping, like box jumping, lifting, skipping, anything like that. I'm just always conscious of keeping, like, feeling like you squeeze in and up, and it just feels like you've got a tight band. You're creating a tight band with your own abs and your pelvic floor around the centre, so you're supporting yourself. It's very common for women to have issues. Even apparently trampolining's one of the worst things you can do for your pelvic floor. And apparently most of the Olympic team, that even 15-year-olds and don't have babies yet, have got issues with their bladder control because of the impact of the trampoline. So it is quite a common problem, especially for mums, because everything's been given a pretty good workout there when you go through the birth process. But there's things you can do, there's exercises you can do. There's actually a clinic in Adelaide that especially deal with pelvic floor and deal with women, and they're really good as well. I've been to see them as well, just to make sure I was doing all the right things while I was lifting. There's a guy called the Physio Detective, that's Anthony Lowe, and he specialises in women's health with pelvic floor and issues like that, and he's also got podcasts that you can download, and he's really interesting. He gets in all sorts of interesting people to talk to about all sorts of issues you never knew existed. So yeah, good to be back. Good to see where everyone's rocking. It's awesome. It's so much more space. It's great.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.